I hope you all can see my screen. So welcome to the first live session of problem solving through programming in C. My name is Aditya C. Iyer and I am a PMRF scholar at the Department of Applied Mechanics and Biomedical Engineering at IIT Madras. And my work, it specifies on making orthopedic implants for people with fractures so that their bones, they heal faster. So enough about me, let's start with the session. So I'll just brief you once with what happened in this week. So how our sessions will go on are like this. So first I'll start with a brief recap, then we'll solve problems, questions and all for your practice. And since it's first week and as you know that actual programming part hasn't started yet, so let's just focus on algorithm, pseudocode and all. So let's start right away without any further ado. Yeah, so we had a basic introduction of what are programming languages, etc., etc. Then we saw how we write algorithms. So two types, flowcharts and pseudocodes, and what is the difference between the two, and how to write what. I mean, how to represent an algorithm as a flowchart or as a pseudocode. Okay, and then some basic programming language concepts were covered, and finally we saw variables and memory allocation, that how a variable is stored, etc., etc. Okay, so that's since it's just an introductory week, so we'll take it light. We'll solve. We'll look at some basic problems. Okay, so before that, let me unmute the tab so that I can hear what you're saying. So sorry, yeah. This unmute, right? Yeah. So now, yeah, and I would request you all to mute yourselves only. I mean, if okay, this pinging sound is still there. Yeah. So why I muted this site was because when new people join, I get a notification like ting ting ting. So I'm just trying to avoid that. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'll still keep it on mute. Once I ask you the question, I'll come back to this tab and I'll unmute, and you guys can answer. Okay, so yeah. Sorry. So the first task is that you have to do. So I'll give you problems or tasks to solve, and that you have to solve. See, these sessions are for your practice, so that and yeah. Also, if you have any doubts, you can ask them. And I hope you know that there exists a forum. Okay, so in the forum, you post your queries or questions related to the course content, or also related to the basically course content, assignments, submissions, any technical issues if you face, and the NPTEL team that is there, they'll take care of that. So whatever stuff or the doubts that you were not able to ask in the class or in these live sessions, or they were not catered to here, you're free to post them in the forum. Okay, so first task is, as you can see, there's a flowchart to my so yeah, if you had attended the previous class, you may have seen this. I don't know what they taught, so just for the people who are new, it's for them. So I have a flowchart here, so I hope you know what these shapes mean. So this round, this circle is basically, it indicates start or stop, and this oval, not oval, this shape is to input or output. So this thing since it says print, so it's printing, or if I just write output here, I'll have to change the shape to this, okay. And this is for conditions, okay. So whether it's, and see this rectangle is just for statements, and this diamond box, or it's not a rhombus, it's just diamond, so it's to check, I mean it's to see if I have a condition. So if that condition is satisfied, I'll take one branch, that is yes, or no, I'll go to one more branch, okay. So I read n here, and I have declared or initialized two variables I and x as 1, both are 1. So I want, so output is here basically this x, print x. So the output I want is 120. So what should be the input? But first of all, is this flowchart correct? Will this ever give 120? So I'll just unmute this site. Yeah. So the people, yeah.
You sharing a screen or not?
Okay, can you guys see my screen? Just raise your hand if you guys can see my screen.
So now I can, now I see your screen.
You can see or not?
Yes, sir. Now I see.
So you're not able to see it then? Is that the problem with all, or only a few people? Because
Sir, earlier it was not visible.
earlier it was not visible, but some people are saying that it was visible. Okay, anyway, now it's visible, right?
Okay,
Yes,
now
sir.
visible.
So let me just change this tab, or never mind, I'll just go here. How do I present from the from current slide? Yeah. So one thing we can see here is I read n. So n is let's say 10. Okay. So I is 1, x is 1. So my condition here is, it's asking if n is more than or equal to n. So in programming language, okay, can you see my screen? Just say yes or no, because I
No,
Sir,
can't.
the
no.
screen is not changing. The slide is not changing.
Not changing, as in what do you see on the screen?
Sir, I seen getting started.
Getting start.
Getting started. Oh, I have changed the slide, so you're not able to see it. Now, I think, I mean, because there might be some lag in your device. I'll just, your slide is not changing.
No, sir, for even me it's not visible.
Oh, I understand. Okay, can people who were able to see the slides before just raise their hands? There is a raise hand button on Google on this meeting. Oh, so you were not. So this seems, yeah, see, now we are at the getting started slide because I kept it there. I think we are facing some technical difficulties here. Okay, sorry, instead of raising your hands, you just give a thumbs up, because raise the hands will show up here. So just lower your hands and just give a thumbs up. Okay, then that's cool. So there might be some internet lag in someone's device, I'm not sure. Okay, I'll go back to the presentation. Okay, this Keshav Kumar, you can stop giving the thumbs down. I can see that you are not able to see. So, okay, let's try again then. Can you see this screen now? Yes?
Sir.
Huh?
No, sir. No, sir.
Screen is not visible.
No, sir.
Okay, I'll stop presenting and I'll start again. Window, share. Can you see the screen now? Hello?
Yes, sir, I can see the screen.
Yeah.
Here, the it is getting started.
Yes. Now
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes, sir,
sir. The
visible.
slide is changing now.
slide is changing now, right? Great. Okay, now I'll start a slideshow. Just give me feedback if you can see the slide. Now you can see? Yes or no?
No, sir.
No,
No, sir.
sir.
No, sir.
So, I mean, is it blank or what? Is it getting stuck
It's
Sir,
somewhere?
it's
getting
getting
started,
started.
sir.
Getting
It is
started.
getting started.
Yeah. Now,
Getting started, sir.
now you can see.
Now
Now
also
also, sir,
getting
getting
started.
No,
started.
sir.
No, it's still at getting started.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
I
sir.
think we'll not do slideshow. We'll just stick with this. Okay.
So
Sir,
now
now
it
we
is
are able
task
to
one.
see task once.
Yeah. I know. So there is some problem with slideshow. I think slideshow in PowerPoint. So task one is there. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
Yes, sir.
Great. So since I don't have slideshow, I'll have to manually explain. I'll mute you again for 2 minutes. Okay. Yeah. So my first flowchart looked something like this. Okay. Wait. Never mind. So my first flowchart looked something like this, where I said it'll read n. So n is my input and x is my output, and I initialize the value of I and x as 1, and so it just so this diamond is basically, it says it yeah, this diamond is a condition. So it has two branches or true or more. So yes means the condition has been satisfied, it will go to this branch. No means the condition has not been met and it will take the other branch. So the condition here says I more than or e equal to n. So whatever value of I give, I if I is more than what is that called? So if I is more than 1, if n is more than 1, this condition will never get satisfied and it will directly go to no. And since x has been initialized to what is it called, 1, it will just go on and print x, right? But what happens if I give n to be negative? So before we do that, let's just change this for now. Let's just change this to I less than or equal to 1. Okay. So when this happens, what should be my input? So I hope you know how to read flowchart. So what should be my input so that my output or x value is 120? Okay. So I'll give you let's say 3 minutes to solve this. Okay. So I'll come to this meeting. I hope the screen is still visible. Just give a thumbs up if it is visible. Okay, great. Okay, so yes. So you have 3 minutes. So see, once the n value will be fine. Yeah, so one more thing, please don't write the answer in the chat, or actually it's your wish, you can do that. Open queue. So I'll start taking doubts when the timer will end. Okay. Yeah, I can see many of you have answered this. So let's just
Yes,
people who have answered, can you please raise your hands? I'll choose one of you. Okay, Prem Kumar has raised his hand. Do you have any doubt? Prem Kumar? Okay, never mind. So, okay, Gaurav, can you unmute yourself and just let us know how you solve this?
Sir, first I take I equals to 1 the given value, then compare I if n equals to 1 we take, then the condition is satisfied. Then we take the value we have I equals to 1, 1 plus 1 2, to the current value of I equals to 2. Then x, the value of x is given 1. Then the current value of x will be 1 into 2 equals to 2, means 2. Then again the loop is then again the loop is run. Then current value of I equals to 2. And mm, for to satisfy the condition we should take n value equals to 2. Then next we in next I equals to I plus 1. Then 2 plus 1 equals to the current value of I equals to 3. Then x equals to x into x multiplied by I. And the value of x is 2, and the current value of is 3. Then 2 multiplied by 3 equals to 6. Then the loop again run, and the current value of I is 3. Then in the next session I equals to I plus 1. Then
Okay,
uh,
okay, I got what you meant. That is correct. So, yeah, I have also launched a poll to just see if people know, have previous knowledge of any other programming language. Like, let's say, see, we'll be using the language C here. So there are other languages like there is Python, Java, C++, C sharp. So many things are there. So just for my information, I've just launched this poll. So okay. So now, as Gaurav rightly answered, and many of you in the chat, n has to be 5. So what is going on in this algorithm? So first it reads I and x, and it reads n, and we have initialize the values of I and x as 1. So this loop will keep on running till I reaches n. Okay, so the termination condition, as in the condition in which the loop will exit, is I greater than 1, greater than n. If here instead of less than equal to, I just had equal to here. So I'll just come here. So if I change this here, right, then my n would have to be 6 instead of 5, right, because yeah, so when n reaches that value, so when n reaches 6, I will still be 5. Sorry, when I reaches 5, it will when I reaches 6, it will automatically exit the loop. Okay, so but here the condition to be satisfied is less than or equal to n. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So what I do, so I increment I by 1 1 1, like plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So what is going on here is basically called factorial. So I hope you all know what factorial means. So let's say I have 4 factorial. So 4 factorial would mean 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So that is factorial. So this program basically finds the factorial of n, right? So I start with x. So I said 4 factorial is 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, but I can also say, since multiplication is commutative, I can say 4 factorial is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4. So the order does not matter here, and that is what is going on here. So first x is 1, so 1 into 1, then yeah, so I hope you know what declaration
Excuse me,
means.
sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, I think this answer is n equal to 4.
No, n is 5, n equals 5.
Sir, please, when I equal to 5, then they are satisfied the no answer.
How?
Then the pre-index is 120. But here the condition is I less than or equal to n. When satisfy the I less than or equal to n, then that is yes. When I less than the 120 is, when I equal to 5, then the pre-index is 120.
Correct.
That is we satisfy the no answer. When no, I greater than n. I greater than n when I equal to 5 means n equal to 4.
So I don't think you're understanding it very well. So I want x to be 120. Okay. So for x to be 120, 120 is what? 120 is 5 factorial. So 1 into 2 is 2, 2 into 3 is 6, 6 into 4 is 24, and 24 into 5 is 120. So in no case, even if I change it to I less than n, it will still not be 4. It will be 5 or 6. So 5 when I is less, so see, less than or equal to n means it has to reach n. It will reach n, then it will exit. If it is less than n, it will reach n minus 1, then it will exit. So since it is less than or equal to n, I need to make it so I can reach n. Okay, so the condition will still hold true if it is n. The condition will only become false if it exceeds n, right? So so since 120 is basically 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5, I have to stop at 5.
Sir, I told that I when that is false, I greater than n, then that satisfies false answer. Then pre-index is 120. I greater than n, then pre-index is 120.
Yes.
I greater than n, we know that when I equal to 5, x equal to 120.
Yes. No, I mean,
equal to 5.
no.
I equal to 5. So 5 greater than n.
Okay, wait.
Means n equal to 4.
So i's value here is actually 6. Why? Because you just hold on for a minute. See, I is the value of I here is 6. Why? I start with I equals 1 because that's what I have given the value, x is 1. So I check if I is less than 5, less than or equal to 5. It's true, it is. So I becomes 2 and x was 1, right? So x is now 1 into 2, 2, x is 2, right? Then again I come back and see I is 2 and 2 is still less than 5. So I has now become 3 because I is I plus 1, and x is now 2 into 3 because I is 3, so 6. When I go back and check here, so it is yes now. So this points to this. So I come back here. Okay, I have sorry. Okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, so this x is here. So this comes back to this. Okay, I'll check again. If 3 is less than or equal to 5, it is. So 3 becomes 4, x becomes 6 into 4, 24. I'll come back. Now I have 5, right? Okay, 5, 5, 5. So just give me a second. 5 and so 4, 120. Okay, actually, I'm sorry, Satyendranath, you are correct. So most of them are wrong. Okay, so you caught on. Good. So n is actually 4. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So
Okay,
why
sir.
is it 4? If I change the order of these two statements, so I have I is equal to I plus 1 and x equals x into 1. So if I put this first and then this, then n will have to be 5. But since this is happening first, n is 4. So n equals 4. That's the answer. Okay. So that's why. So my compiler will read my code line by line. So it will not skip lines. I mean, it will skip lines if I tell it to skip lines, but that's not the case here. So if this line had preceded I is equal to I plus 1, then my n would have had to be 5. But since that is not the case, n is now 4. Okay. So thanks Satyendra for pointing it out. Okay. I hope it's clear for the rest of you as well, people who said 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. So the actual answer here is 4. Okay. It was slightly tricky. I wanted to emphasize here on the order of statements as well. Okay, so that is very important. What you see first, what you read first. So just make sure you keep that in mind next time. Okay. So let's now move on to the next question. Yeah, so I have this thing. I hope you can see my screen. Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can see task 2, no? So I'll just mute this site for 2 minutes. Okay. So I have this flow chart again, where input is x and output is y. Yeah, so here one small problem was the shape of this was wrong. Okay, so keep that in mind. So read, print and all in flow charts should be in this shape of box. It's not an ellipse, it's oval. Yeah, it's called an oval. So I initialize y as 0, x is my input, and I do this. Okay. So just write that down. I mean, it will be there on the screen. So sorry, I just asked what does it print. Input x as 2596. Okay, 2596. Okay, that is x. So what does it print? I'll give you 5 minutes to solve this, and then you can choose to write the answer on the comments, or you can just, I mean, raise your hand once the time is done and then you can explain to the class. I hope the thing is still visible. I've changed tabs, that's why. Okay. Yeah, so before we continue, I would just like to point out the meaning of these symbols. Okay, so the meanings of, I'll pause the timer. Meanings of these symbols. So star means, I mean, most of you would know, multiplication. This slash means division, but the thing here is it means integer divisions. Okay, so it will only return the quotient. Okay, only the quotient. So if I say 5 divided by 4, so we know in our heads that is 1/4 or 1.25, but it will only return the quotient, that is 1. So the quotient is 1 and the remainder is also 1. Okay, so when you divide two numbers, you have dividend, divisor, quotient and remainder. Okay, so this will give me the quotient. Okay, so here x is the dividend, 10 is the divisor, x is the quotient. Okay, the x on my left is the quotient, and this percentage sign, so it is called modulo operator, modulo. Okay, modulo operator. So like this slash gives this, forward slash gives quotient, this gives the remainder. So if I say 5 percentage 4 or 5 modulo 4, I'll get 1. Okay, so 5 is a bad example. Let's say 6 by 4, right? So 6 by 4 would be 1 because it's 1.5, so it only takes the quotient. So the quotient is 1 and the remainder is 2. So 6 modulo 4 will be 2. Okay, so that's what this sign does. So now you can get back to solving this. I have resumed the timer. Okay. So 5 minutes are up, and most of you, not most of you, I mean people have gotten some answers. Someone is saying 6, whereas someone else is saying 6952, that is the reverse of the number, and Piyush Khandelwal says 6952 because it is the flow chart of reverse of a number. Okay. If one of you wants to explain this, you can just raise your hand and I'll choose any one of you. On top of my screen, I can see Prisha Gupta. Do you want to answer?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Go on.
So first we took the input, the x which is given. Then we check for, then we put it in the equation that we have been given, that y is equals to y into 10 plus x mod 10. So there we continue to get the last digit of the number. That first we got 6, then 9, then 5, then 2, until the loop was over. So then we printed y. So the answer was 6952.
Okay, so that was a very short explanation. I mean that is correct, but you missed out. I mean you knew what to do, but I feel you missed out a few things. So I'll explain from. Still explain this from on my side, but good job, Prisha Gupta.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So see, I start by reading x and I have initialized y as 0. So this thing, I say that y equals, so yeah, see this equal to does not mean comparison. Equal to means assignment. So when we assign the value to something. So one thing new programmers get confused between is they'll just ask, okay, how is x 1/10 of itself? So it's I'm not saying x is equivalent to that. I'm assigning the value of x to be 1/10 of its own value. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So yeah, so y is 0. I said y is y into 10 plus x mod 10. So since y I started it as 0, so this part is still 0, and x mod 10 would be what? So if I take 2596 by 10, I'll get 259 as my quotient and my remainder will be 6, right? So y is now 6 and now x is x by 10. So x by 10 is 259. It's not 259.6, it is 259. Okay, so now now y is 6, right? So now I'll check if x is 0, x is not 0 in fact. So yeah, if my dividend is less than my divisor, so let's say I do 1 by 2. Yeah, so let's say I do 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 is half, 0.5. So quotient is 0. Okay, so that's how x will become 0. So now x is now 259, and so if I don't have this y into 10, I'll just keep on adding. Okay, so if I had something like y plus this, so my so y is basically the sum of the digits, 6 plus 9 plus 5 plus 2, right? Because y is now 6 and now the new modulo, now that x is 259, x mod 10 is 9, so 6 plus 9 is 15, and then x has become 25 and new modulo is 5, then x has become 2, the modulo is 2, so 6 plus 9 plus 5 plus 2 is 22. So the key difference here is I have y into 10. So each time that number will get shifted to one space left. Okay, so it was 6 was at one's place. Now since I multiplied that by 10, it moved to 10's place. So instead of doing 6 plus 9, I am doing 60 plus 9. Then that 69 is there. I am multiplying that by 10 again. So 690 plus 5, and then 6095 plus 2. So that's why I get 6925. So in the end, since now when x became 2 here, sorry, okay, give me a minute. Yeah. So x was 2, so here it became 2, so still not 0. Now x has become basically 0, right? So if 2 by 10 is 0, 0.2, so 2 is the remainder, so 0.2, so x is 0, so the exit condition has been satisfied, it will just print y. Okay, this was I mean so I start with 6, then I go with 60 plus 9, then I go with 690 plus 5, then finally I have 6950 plus 2, which is equal to 6952. Okay, I hope it's clear. Now we'll go to something a little more challenging. Okay. So I hope you all know what GCD means. GCD is the greatest common divisor, or also we can call it greatest common denominator in some other word, or you can also call it HCF, highest common factor. Okay, so all mean the same thing. So the goal of this flowchart is to find the GCD of two numbers, A and B, where A is greater than B. Okay, so if I have let's say 56 and 14, I don't know. So what will be the GCD there? I think it's 14, right? Because 14 into 4 is 56 and 14 into 1 is 14. So like that. Or since it directly divides, we'll not do that. Let's take 25 and 10. Okay, so the GCD is 5. So see that they also have 1 as a common factor, but highest common factor or greatest common denominator is what we are looking for. Okay, and A, so when I read A and B, I read it in a way that the greater of the two is stored as A, and I mean, yeah, of course it can be same, but if they are not same, let's say, there is also a condition for them to be same, in which case the GCD would be the number itself. Okay, so I have then I have quotient and Q and R means quotient and remainder. So I have Q as A by B, because A is bigger, of course, so this can't be 0. It can be 1 or more than 1. 1 will be the case when it is less than double of it. Okay, so and a remainder, if quotient is non-zero, sorry, if quotient, I mean, yeah, a remainder, of course. So I have one condition here. If that satisfies, I'll print the smaller of the two. If it doesn't satisfy, I'll perform one more operation. Okay, so I want to know what these two are. So just think about it. Okay, I'll give you 10 minutes, or yeah, I'll give you 10 minutes for that. Okay, before I start the timer, has everybody got what to do here? Just raise your hand if you have a doubt in the question itself. If no, I'll just start the timer and you guys can try it out. So no hands raised, that is good, that is good. I will just start the timer for 10 minutes. So let's carry on with the with its answer. I'll again mute this site till I'm explaining. Then I'll come back, and if you have any doubts, you can just we can discuss. Okay. So I hope the screen is visible. So like I said, GCD. So or HCF. So I'll just write HCF here for your reference. Okay. HCF. So what is condition 1? I wrote condition because it's a diamond, and I wrote statement 2 because it's a box, a rectangle. Okay. So how do I start? So first I have read A and B, and I in a way that A is greater than or equal to B. Okay. And I have Q, which is the quotient when I divide A by B, and R is the remainder when I divide A by B. Okay, so R is R mod A. So one thing I want to bring to your attention. So let us assume the HCF is, yeah, the HCF is or the GCD is, let's say, D. Okay, so D is my divisor. So if G perfectly divides both A and B, I can write A as, so I'll write, so A equals M into D, MD, okay, or I'll write M into D, because I mean A is a multiple of D, right? So if let's say D is 4, A is 12, so 12 is 3 into 4, and B equals N into D, okay, fine. So M into D and N into D. So since A is greater than B, right? So Q is A by B. So I can write, and A is MD, right? So MD, I'll just skip the star because I mean I know, you know, I know, so why, right? So Q, so what is this? Quotient into, so dividend, that is MD, is quotient Q here, okay, Q into BD, right? So sorry, ND, which is the revisor plus remainder, right? So you just notice one thing, if D perfectly divides the left hand side, D should perfectly divide the right hand side, and since D perfectly divides first term in the right hand side, D should also perfectly divide R remainder, right? I'll give you an example here. I'm finding it for, let's say, 4 and 12, sorry, 16 and 12. So so D, I don't know what is D, okay, so 16 is, so 16 is equal to 1 into 12 plus 4. So 4 is ND, right? So 16 is 4 into 4. Yeah, here it's 4. Straight away I got the answer, but that is not how it works. So I'll choose some other number. Let me choose 32. Okay. So 32 is 2 into 12 plus 8. Okay. So I know that I know from simple mathematics that the HCF of 32 and 12 is 4. So so 4 is also a factor of 8. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say. Since I can write this as a multiple of 4, this is a multiple of D. So this whole, since the whole left hand side is a multiple of D, whole right hand side must also be a multiple of D. So I'll just replace R with, let's say, Mn, also P into D, okay, right. So that's what I know. So since now I know for sure that P into D, I mean this R is also multiple of this, and I know one thing for sure, that the remainder will be less than the divisor, okay, because if it's more, then my quotient will increase by one number. That's all. I mean, that's obvious, right? So let's go back to our example again. 32 equals 12 plus 8, sorry, 2 into 12 plus 8. So now I know that 8 is also a multiple of that HCF, right? And 8 is of course less than 12. So I can narrow down my search space by saying, okay, now I don't have to look at factors of 32 now. I just have to find the greatest common divisor of 12 and 8. Okay, so if I do that, I'll write 12 equals 1 into 8 plus 4. Now I'll narrow it down to 8 and 4. So what is 8? 8 equals 2 into 4 plus 0. So now my remainder has become 0. So that means 4 is the answer. Okay. So we just use a simple principle here, that if left hand side is perfectly divisible by a number d, the whole right hand side should also be that, and if it is sum of two numbers and one of them is perfectly divisible by d, the second one also should be perfectly divisible by d. So what am I doing here? Right, so I'll just remove this. I hope you have got it. So what is 1? Condition 1. So like many of you said, condition 1 is just checking if r is 0, right? Is r 0? Or I'll write, okay, so like most of you have answered in the chat, statement 1 is r is 0. Okay, so yeah, Jayashri answered now that. So now I have to check between remainder and the divisor. So statement 2 is what? Statement 2 is A is B and B is R, right? Or A equals B, B equals R. And here keep in mind, order of the statements is very important. So if I write this first, B will become R, A will also become R, and it will give me the wrong result as R. I mean, yeah, it can be fine, it can be correct for specific cases. Of course, if I have 16 and 12, my remainder will be 4, and that will be my answer, right? So but that's not the case, right? So the order of statements is very important. So I have changed A to B. So like the previous one, 32 and 12. So now A, which was 32, now A has become 12, and B, which was 12, it has become 8. Fine. So I hope you understood this. So I'll just highlight this. This is the answer. Okay. So does anyone have any doubts? I'll unmute this site. Or is it like clear? Okay, that's great. That's great. So now let's. Someone has joined the call. Okay. So now let's move on to our final task for the day. Final question for the day. It's relatively easy. You may have come across this, I don't know, somewhere. So let's just. Yeah, so now we worked with flowcharts. Now we have to work with pseudocodes, right? Because two ways to express algorithms were flowcharts and pseudocodes. So we saw some flowcharts. Now it's time to write a pseudocode, right? So yeah, I have two ways to do it. Okay, so you might have come across something like, okay, never mind. I mean, I'll do it anyway. So, so yeah, write a pseudocode to swap two numbers. Okay, and I'll show you two ways how to do it. I mean, it's relatively easy. So, yeah, so Anmol, like he said, using a third variable and without using a third variable, it's up to you. You can do it however you want. So, I'll give you. Okay, it's relatively easy. I'll actually cut down the time by. I'll give you 5 minutes. If you're done, we can just break early. So it's also, I think, better for you, I guess. Yeah, and people have already started writing the answers. So yeah, I want you to write pseudocodes. I don't want to. I don't want you to write statements, right? So yeah, I can see that people are very excited and they are writing the codes in the chat. Just give other people a chance, man. I mean, okay, I'll start the timer. So I'll just uh, give you guys 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah, so your time is up, and as I could see in the first 1 minute itself, most of you answered. So I mean it's fairly simple, but the thing is you have to write a pseudocode, not just write the answer. So anyway, so I'll as so. So one way is to include a third variable. I'll call it C. So I'll say C equals say C equals A. Then I'll say A equals B, and then I'll say B equals C, right? So the use of this third variable is to not invalidate the value of A, right? So if I just directly write A equals to B and B equals to A, that will not work, because A is 5, B is 8. Okay, in our example, yeah, A is 5 and B is 8. So if I say A equals B, then A becomes 8. Then when I say B equals A, that will mean A is now 8. So B is also 8. So both values have become B. So that is why, so that the value of A does not get lost, I'll store it in a third variable called C, or some people also use temp. I mean, if you see the chat in the meeting, you will see that some people have used temp, flag, whatever you want. So I've stored this value A here. So C is now 5. A equals B. So A has become what? A has become, so C is 5. So I'll just, so look at this, yeah, C equals 5, A equals 5, and B equals 8, right? So our flow is like this. Now here C is 5, A is 8, B is 8, and here C is 5, A is 8, and B is 5. Right. So now the values have been swapped. Right. So since A is 8 here, if I just write B equal to A, both would have become 8. So this is one method. Second method is this. So like as many people have mentioned in the comments in the chats, this A plus B, A minus B and all. So let's just go with that. So A equals A plus B, right? B equals A minus B, and A equals A minus B, right? So what is going on here? I do not want a third variable. Okay, so why this is kind of better is because see, there also I had 3 operations, right? C A then B, right? C equals A equals B, and B equals C. Here also there are 3 operations, yeah, but there it was direct assignment. Here I have to perform a mathematical operation, so its cost is, let's say, per step cost is slightly higher, but I do not have to make extra space in my computer to save one more variable, right? So there I had to create one space of these many bytes. So you should know how many space integers take, this floating values take, characters take, and all. If you don't know, it will be probably covered in the next week's lectures, right? So with this method, with this technique, I am saving space, saving memory, right? Because this week's last lecture was, I think, variables and memory allocation. So if I use less memory, my computer will be faster, right? So if I store it too much, then it will become slower. So that, yeah, see, with the technology we have now, this makes almost no difference. But still, when we start handling higher volume of problems, of more complexity and all, this would make more sense. Okay, so I'll just try it. Yeah, I have to read. If I mention read, I also have to write print, right? So a plus. So see, now a has become 13, b has become, oh god, a has become 13, b has become, b is still 8. Now a is still 13 and b is 5, and here they have been swapped. So a is 8, b equals 5. So using simple mathematical operations, I have gotten the values. I have swapped the values of a and b. Okay, so yeah, so I can see that many people have left the meeting. Anyway, I have unmuted this window again. So if you have any doubts, I mean, since most of you knew the answer and it was a fairly simple question, I don't think there will be any doubts. So one thing I'd like to say is this was the first class, so not much of programming was involved, only the basic stuff. So once you start writing codes and all, our tasks will also get more complex. Okay, they'll start getting more complicated. So yeah, so watch the videos. If you have any doubts, we can address them either here or like I mentioned in the beginning of the class, this forum is there. So forum for this specific course on the NPTEL website. Okay, so you can access the videos, you can access the weekly assignments, and there is also a forum in which you can discuss or you can raise your doubts, etc., etc. So join that as well. Use the, please display task 1, 2, 3. Task 1, 2, 3. I think you have just joined the meeting. Okay, yeah, one more thing. So this video will go on YouTube. Okay, I have been recording the whole session. This video will go on YouTube and under my channel, and you guys will get the link, and you'll also get a drive link where I upload these presentations. So I can upload them as they are, or sometimes I might add few more slides, I mean few more practice questions for you. So those are for you to practice at home. Okay, YouTube channel, you'll know. Actually, where could I get the link? So where did you get this meeting link? I mean, NPTEL people will share. Okay, so my a few months back I had taken Python sessions. So I mean, this meeting platform is not to publicize my channel. So you will get the link of the video. You can access my channel from there. Okay, so you will get the link. Don't worry. Within a day or two. I mean, once I upload the video, the moment the video goes on YouTube, you will have the link. I'll also create timestamps for people who want to skip through stuff. I mean, of course, because I have also taken time. I also took breaks for you to attempt the questions. Okay, so the class is supposed to be till 8, but I think since week 1 we have not covered that much, it's better for all of us to just cut it short here. Okay, so thank you all. Have a good day. You may exit the meeting now. Okay. Regarding certification exam, descriptive exam or objective. So this you have to raise in the forum. So course related, course content related and this doubts and all that you can ask me here. Regarding, I'm not supposed to answer your questions related to the mechanics of the course. I mean, how the course works, how the certification exam will be, what is the percentage of the weekly assignments, etc., etc. So just ask it in the forum. Someone might answer you. Ayush Kumar Chaudhary. Yeah, you may now exit the meeting. So as far as I know, there are 4 sessions. I mean, see, I'll take the sessions every Tuesday. Fine, Jai Shri. Yeah, I will take the sessions on Tuesdays. I will actually, we don't need to record this for the video.